you know, who knows, yes.
Promotion, whatever it might be.
That needs to be considered, yes.
That'll have a direct effect on the value of the 360.
I think
That'll change the quality of the 360.
And all that sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Who sees the data? Who owns the data?
Yes,
as well?
absolutely. Yeah. Individual.
Key question.
Yeah.
What are the critical process parts?
There's the issue of nominating raters or forcing who are the raters.
How that
allowing
works.
the individual to choose.
Yeah. Or
Nomination of reviewers.
Yes. Make a big difference.
Yes.
Setting up of reviewers, which is what you just referring to, which is what's the context of why am I doing this and what's the purpose of it? And
Yes.
all kinds of things that could be said to a reviewer would make a difference on how they answer the question.
Not just by us, not by the focus.
Yeah.
I had a couple of chaps who used their wives on their 360 a little while ago. And it was great when it came to communication because the one comment was, well, I know he does listen. I know he communicates well, but he never listens to a word I say. So I said, when he read the comment, I said, any thoughts if that might be?
Literally.
Building on the briefing and communication, it's really getting permission from the reviewers.
That's a whole other level of setting up. It's not just telling them, it's actually asking them.
It's buying.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's giving them a choice, right? Or not. I mean, that's not how giving a choice or not is one of those process points. Do you give them a choice or not?
Yeah.
Can I just ask about nomination of reviewers, what people's views are about that, particularly if you're talking about people's direct reports? Yes. I think that's the one. I mean, generally, people wouldn't have a choice of their manager completing it.
No.
And I would always advocate with peers that they would choose because it wouldn't be directly obvious who. But when you've got someone managing a team, what your perspective is on whether it should just be the whole team are invited to give feedback or whether they select?
What are thoughts?
Well, I like the individual. I always want the individual to choose that because I work with them on a development basis rather than an appraisal basis. And I think on a development basis, I think I like the individual to choose who their raters are going to be, as long as they're aimed as a full 360.
Yeah.
So we're going to have peers, we're going to have line managers, you're going to have people direct reports. Whether it's the whole team or whether it's 4 or 5 from the team, I leave totally up to them. As long as we're looking at a mass that's going to give us good feedback. I think you talk in your 6 and 10 or 6 and 15, and I'm very happy as long as we've got a weight of numbers which is going to give us good feedback.
Well, that's what I normally do, but my client for this big project wants them is just going to say you've got to choose your whole team, partly because it expedites the process and partly because I think they want them to have feedback from everyone they manage because it's a leadership programme. I suppose
I think that's really helpful in a way, because I think you can end up deselecting individuals based on your own judgment. So, for example, an obvious one might be discounting somebody because they're new to their team. But actually, just the perception that is created because of that new relationship can be hugely useful. And in the 360 it normally says how long you've known, I can't remember how it's phrased, but how well you know them. So that helps to take account of that.
I hadn't really thought about it because normally we do it through, you select and rate it. But I'm starting to think actually, particularly the team you manage, that can create some politics around who was chosen.
Exactly.
And why?
So there's a bit of an argument for saying just invite everyone. They may not all do
There
it.
is a
Invite everyone.
another point just to throw into the pot though and the debate is if the numbers of the team, the sizes of the teams are large, you might want to suggest that they're split into different categories because once you get over 5 or 6, from certainly my work with it, you just lose the colour of the data, you lose the specificity.
And these are quite big teams, but that's what they want.
So,
I've
if
had
they
feedback.
need to be worked through with the client, those sorts of
But if
things.
that's the most important thing, that it's inclusive feedback, I think as long as there's qualitative comments,
it probably will work out. It'll probably work out.
Again, I think if you're briefing well, as long as you're setting it up well and briefing it well, it'll be fine. You're going to get more not applicables or don't knows.
Yes, exactly.
Based on that, if you're going to do everybody. Whereas if you're selecting, you're more likely going to get feedback from everybody.
well, I suppose it depends on the questions you ask, because if you tailor the questions, because I mean, I don't know whether you can do this with your tool, but if you could have different competencies or questions feel rated by
You
team
can.
members than by leaders.
You can
do that.
Because
Yeah.
if you wanted to cut it down, you could conceivably say there are certain things you just ask people who actually report into them about,
Yeah.
and there's certain things you just ask their manager about, because some of the non-applicables come because there are things that people don't say.
They don't say.
That option we use very regularly when it's external stakeholders, like
Okay,
customers
that's-
and suppliers, because really they can only answer
Yeah.
like a third usually
Yeah.
of questions. So
Yeah.
we have a facility.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Other process points.
You did mention about checking the actual, what's the criteria? What are you basing it against? You know,
The content.
the very beginning of what are we, is it against behaviours, is it values, whose behaviours, what are we...
That's a
what are we-
huge
yeah.
question.
Absolutely.
Huge.
Yeah.
I don't like that pen either. I'm projecting pens as I go through this.
Is there something about managing expectations right at the beginning? So I'm
Yes.
just thinking one of the outputs simply may be it's a 360, a snapshot in time with a debrief, and it then goes back into the internal processes to develop development plans.
Yes.
Or it could be the start of a whole coaching intervention. And I think sometimes, just by virtue of a solid debrief and the openness of the individual,
Yes.
it can start to lead to all sorts of fantastic things. But actually resources might be limited.
Yeah,
So
so
I
how
guess
to
just
do
an
that, yeah.
exploration early on.
So the setting up of the whole 360 in the context of the whole process, that's one of those critical steps that can be managed in all sorts of